Woo! There's a lot of stuff out on the counter now. Yeah, my little sous chef has got it all laid out. Looking fine. Getting ready to cook. Oh, hello there, friends and family. So good to see y'all again. Welcome back to the little old country kitchen in a whole new year, 2024. You might wonder what we're cooking up. We're going to be cooking up a special gift that's not only good on the first of the year, on the very first day, but any day, if you're looking for prosperity and money in the coming year. So let me show you what we're going to be cooking up today and what we got set out. So here we have it. The sous chef has got it all laid out. Woo! She's got some looks, black-eyed peas seasoned with pork, and they're from fine folks at Lux, authentic southern taste. And she's also got some Glory Foods, simply seasoned with garlic, onion, and sea salt turnip greens. Yep, they're cans, but don't be poo-pooing on the cans. I use these two brands because they have very few ingredients, such as these Lux black-eyed peas. Prepared black-eyed peas, water, cured pork, fatback, water, and salt. That's it. Not much. No artificial ingredients and no GMOs. And then for the simply seasoned Glory Foods turnip greens, there's not much in them either. Let's look at them. Ingredients: turnip greens, water, less than 2% of dried cane syrup, sea salt, natural flavor, natural smoke flavor, dried onion, apple cider vinegar, dried red chili pepper, garlic powder, and spice. So not much for ingredients. And they're both low salt. Yes, they are, which is a good thing if you're old like me. And of course, we got out the good stuff today. The guatly, thick cut sliced bacon. We'll be adding to those beans and greens since 1870. Guatly. We'll be using 6 ounces of this thick cut bacon today. And we got some salt, some ground black pepper, some thyme leaves, and of course, woo, to really spice it up, some Tony Chachere's original Creole seasoning. Bay leaves for depth of flavor, some of the French's Worcestershire sauce, and a couple of chicken bouillon cubes sitting in our mixing cup. Some onion, a nice medium one. 4, whoop, I said 4. Yeah, there's the other one. 4 cloves of garlic, and 1 stalk of celery too. So there's your ingredients right there. I know it looks like a pile, but then again, it's not much. And as always, here's my old handwritten recipe. Quick and easy, black-eyed peas with greens. That's what's on board today for this New Year's Day. You can see right there what they are in case you want to write them down. So like always, we've got some slicing, some dicing to do. And then once we get all the prep work done, we'll show you what we've done. We've got the magic one pot out, and we'll get cooking on. So with a little help from my sous chef, we got everything prepped up. It wasn't much of that. We got 1 stalk of celery here all diced up. We've got our 4 cloves of garlic minced, and our 1 medium onion diced up as well. And there's that 6 ounces of guatly, thick cut bacon, all chopped up. We've got our cast iron pot sitting here warming up. Well, it's not cast iron, excuse me, it's cast aluminum. And it takes a minute to get up to heat. So while it's heating up, we'll get you set up and we'll get to cooking us something. Some black-eyed peas with greens for that prosperity and money throughout the coming year. And you can do this any day, whenever you're wanting to have some little prosperity and money in your future days to come. So the first thing we're going to be adding into our pot, of course, is that chopped bacon. Let's see if we can get a sizzle out of this. Oh yeah, I can hear it sizzling, can't you? Right there it goes. Y'all watch that while I rinse up. You hear that sizzle? And then we'll just use our little wooden breaker upper spoon to break all those little chopped up pieces of that fine thick cut bacon. Now here's the thing. How far you want to take your bacon? Do you want extra crispy or just browned? That's all up to you. Yes, it is. And you don't got to separate it before you throw it in the pot. It sort of separates itself as it's cooking up. And we got that pan or that pot on medium heat. That's 5 on my stove. It's probably a 5 on most stoves. So there we have it, pretty much broken up. Now we just gotta render out the moisture and the fat and get it cooking up. Woo! I love the sound of sizzle. It's music to my ears. Not to mention the smell of that fine, thick cut bacon as it fries up. Now granted, you could use smoked ham hocks, and I have. You can use some country ham, you know, that salt cured stuff, or even some city ham. Leftovers. Maybe you had ham on Christmas Day. All's good. But I didn't have any of that on hand. So we had to break out the good stuff and use our bacon today. I'm sure that'll bring us all the more prosperity in the coming year too. If it don't, it'll at least taste good. Ooh, it's already smelling mighty fine. Well, now that we got our bacon all browned up and everything, we of a lot of bacon fat. And we don't need all that. So let's take the bacon out and transfer it to a plate. And we'll pour most of that bacon grease off for the kitty crew. Let's turn down that heat. So we're just going to take a little spatula. Ooh! You see that stuff pop up? That's why you turn down the heat. Look at that. Finely ground up. Trust me, kids. Frying up bacon can get dangerous. Always wear clothes and eye protection too. Just saying. So it's not quite crispy, but it's nicely browned up. So we got that right there. Now we're going to pour off the bacon grease right here. And that'll be for the kitty crew's food later today. There we go. We'll add just a touch back to fry up our onion. About 1 or 2 tablespoons will be fine. Now we're going to kick our heat back up to medium Got our 2 tablespoons of bacon fat in there. And we're just going to pop in those diced up. Nice. Well, I'd say it's a medium dice in those 2 tablespoons of bacon grease. Just till they start to brown up. Now, like I say, we reserved that bacon grease for the kitty crew for later tonight, but we can always add some back if we need some more flavoring in our black-eyed peas and greens. Imagine that. But I don't think we will, considering all that bacon over there. I think I'll try a piece. Just between you and me. Let's give it a taste test. Oh yeah. It's not crispy crunchy. It's just starting to be on the crisp side. And you can probably hear the onions starting to sizzle away. Now that we've got some brown on those onions, you know what that does. It brings out the sweetness, caramelizes. Ooh yeah, look at that. Now we're going to add in our celery. Right there. And our garlic too. Incorporate that in. It's coming together fast now. Of course, now the celery, it don't need a lot. And the great thing about using canned black-eyed peas and greens, whether you use collards or whether you use turnip greens like I am, or you can use kale or mustard greens too. Even cabbage, whatever your favorite ones are. So we'll just add that in, letting that garlic cook a minute or two. We don't want it to burn, do we? No, we do not. So now all we got to do is add in the black-eyed peas straight out of the can from the fine folks at Lux. Right there they go. They're all cooked up. And we're going to make sure we scrape that pan right there. Give them a little mixer. Get everything all together, happy as a family. And I can already tell you, it's starting to smell mighty fine. Into that, we didn't drain them because we'll simmer it all off. There's our turnip greens. We're going to mix them right on in. They're chopped. Already cooked too. Now you could have used a half a can if you wanted to. Or you can use, if you're feeding the crowd, use your 2 cans of black-eyed peas to 1 can of greens. Just whatever you want to do. This is how I do. And I love my turnip greens. And there we go. The major ingredients, well, except for that fine crispy bacon, are all in the pot. And we still got it on medium heat. And of course you might hear Gracie. She's all wound up, playing at my feet. Now it's time to add a little bit of seasoning to make it all the more better. And to this, we're going to sprinkle in 2 teaspoons, not tablespoons, of thyme leaves. Yes, we are. You might only want to do 1, because you can always add it later if you want to. And then 2 teaspoons of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Right there. Now you might want to only add 1 of them, because you can add the other one later, or a little more if you want to. And just for now, we're going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of the pure ground black pepper. Ooh, I love pepper. And we can't forget, we got to add in the Worcestershire sauce from the fine folks at French's. Like the recipe says, 1 to 2 tablespoons. I know what I like, so I'm going to go with 2. The only thing left to do is add 1 bay leaf right in there like that. And we're going to give all that a stirry up. Incorporate all that seasoning goodness in with our peas and greens, onion, celery, garlic. Woo! We got it all going on. Get that bay leaf down in there so we can add that flavor. You might wonder, well, what about the bacon, Mr. Tom? Well, it's right over here. What I like to do, I like to put in, most of it, not all of it. I save a little bit for when I serve it up to sprinkle on top. We're going to stir that on in. Bay leaf keeps coming up. So you could just go till you heat it up through and it would be done. But I like to let it simmer some of that liquid on off and dry out a little bit too. So hey, you watch this while I get things put up. We're going to turn the heat down a little bit because we don't want it boiling. We just want it on a low simmer, evaporating some of that liquid off. If you don't mind, keep an eye on it for me. Don't let it get to a roaring boil or burn. You know, I'm getting old. I wondered why it didn't have as much liquid as before. Because I had my 2 chicken bouillon cubes that I heated up in the nuclear oven. I eat a microwave to pre-dissolve them. I forgot all about them. So we got to add that on in there too. Now, that looks more like it. So we're going to simmer it down. I was sort of thinking it didn't have all that much liquid to simmer down like before. And here's another thing. You can make this a soup, simmer it down some, as much as you want to dry it on out. So you don't got much liquid at all. But I'm going to tell you what, somewhere in between is where the magic all comes about. Sort of between a soup and a stew. You know, stews are always drier than soups too. So like I say, watch it for me, simmer away until it gets to the consistency you and I want. So we've been letting this slow simmer for right at about 45 minutes. And it's pretty much reduced to half. Still got some liquid in it. But as you can see, it's not so liquidy. And this is about where I like it. Because now all those flavors are concentrated in those peas and those greens. So all we got to do now is dish some up and give it a taste test and see how it all came out. So what do you say? You ready? You want some? I do. I'll tell you a little secret. We're making it up the evening ahead for tomorrow, for New Year's Day, so we can get all that prosperity in our life, and maybe a little money too. So let's plate some up. We're not going to have a lot, just a little bit tonight, because it's getting late. And I actually made this up ahead of time, because it'll all be all the more better tomorrow on New Year's Day as a side dish with some ham steak, mashed taters, and gravy. Ooh yeah, we're gonna be eating fine. Oh, and you know what? Be excellent with cornbread, which we'll make that up tomorrow too. But for tonight, oh yeah, my special: garlic, Parmesan cheese, parsley, and red pepper, hot dog, garlic toast. Ooh, just like that. Sprinkle a little bacon on top. That crispy, crunchy bacon right there. Of course, I'm going to have to crisp up some more for tomorrow. Let me wash up. Ooh, that looks mighty fine. Oh, glad you stayed with me, friends and family. I thought you would. But hey, let's give this a little taste test, because it's getting rather late. And like I said, I made it up ahead of time. Ooh, let's get some right on in here. Make sure we get some of those black-eyed peas, bacon too. There's a nice big spoonful. Get a few little lovely blows. Woo! Man, that's got some flavor. That's one of those recipes that'll warm you up. Yep. Like I said, you might want to only go with 1 teaspoonful of that Tony Chachere's. And of course that half teaspoon of pure ground black pepper was just right. But it's got a little bit of heat, not a lot. Just enough to give your mouth that warm feeling without making it burn. And it's got a lot of flavor. Yes, from the greens. And a lot of times if I just use fresh collards or turnips, or even regular can of collards or turnip greens that come unseasoned, unlike the Glory Foods does, I put a splash of apple cider vinegar on it. But the Glory Foods already seasoned turnip greens, as you know, had apple cider vinegar in them too. So you get that little note of that apple cider vinegary flavor that I love so much. Maybe you do too. But hey, in the comments below the video, let me know how you make your black-eyed peas, or if you make black-eyed peas and greens, for both prosperity and money in the coming new year. Now I'm going to head on to my desk and download some video files. Eat up this mess of peas and greens with my garlic toast, and maybe watch a little YouTube. So, until I, Gracie, Kitty Crew, Cleo, Speedy, Spooky, sometimes Heathcliff, Little Fluffy Muffin, 2, see y'all on the next episode. Next year, Mr. Tom's Neighborhood. Y'all take care. Stay safe, warm, and dry. Do the best you can, whether you got a little bit or a lot. And remember, always bless others. All the time you can, so God can bless you too. I'm sure He will. For you have blessed my lives, and I hope in a small way I blessed yours too. So hey, Happy New Year to all of you, wherever you may be in this big old wide world of ours, or in the good old US of A. Goodbye for now. Oh yeah. Whew. That's gonna give me a little bit of heat in this chilly night. Oh yes, it will. Oh, pardon me. Later all. Oh yeah. If that don't make your New Year's bright, nothing more. It saves you money right off the bat.